Welcome to the BetMoorSports Podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Troutman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we back at it again. It's week
15.
15. Okay, yeah. Week 15. So many goddamn weeks, golly. It's week 15 in the NFL. It's all types of stuff going on. We are live in the matrix of sports. You know what I'm saying? We got hockey. Baseball is over officially, but we got hockey, we got basketball, both college and professional, football, both college and professional. Did I say hockey?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It's
And you got the World Cup.
Oh, and the World Cup is lit.
Yeah, the World Cup finals is right here. Argentina and France, right?
Yep. Messi out there being clean. But as always, there's always something going on. There's always some fun happening in the world of sports. And for me, I'm a 49er fan. So at this point in time, you know why I feel the way I feel. Even though we just seem to get hit with injuries like it's COVID. It's terrible. I hate it. But we got a ton to touch on today. We got all types of stuff for this episode 37 of the BetMoorSports Podcast. Before we start, definitely want to say shout out to everybody that tuned in and everybody that left comments and left questions or left answers to the question on YouTube. We're supposed to be. But we definitely got winners, and we'll reach out to those winners and get y'all square for sure. We got a new one this week. Looking for a new winner this week. So we'll get to that shortly. But with that said, let's get this party started. We ended last week, Guru, in boxing, right? Boxing was lit. We had Keyshawn Davis coming out of Norfolk representing. We had Bud Crawford representing. Teofimo Lopez, I can't say he represented, but whatever. Bud Crawford knocked dude out. You think the ball is in Spence's corner now?
They just got to get the money right, man. They got to get the money right.
Spence feel like he the A side, but Bud like, no, I'm the A side. If you could determine the A side, who would you pick as the A side?
I just say, man, split the pot.
Split the pot. It's enough money for everybody.
It's enough money, and they both done prove everything they need to prove as far as being champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Split the pot. We ain't gonna argue about no money.
Definitely not.
I want to see the fight, and I know y'all want to fight. Unless y'all don't really want to fight.
Right. And I want to bet on it. So,
yeah,
we need to make it a point to get it going. Like, don't do what Manny Pacquiao and Floyd did and wait till they 38 and
right.
Try to have a fight.
I want to see it right now while they're young, while we can both get out there and watch the fight and enjoy that experience.
Exactly. And we want to sponsor, so hit us up.
Let us know, man. You seen Keyshawn Davis show.
You seen it. If you don't see it, then you about to see it right now. Shout out to ESPN, or let me say that again. Shout out to BetMoorSports for making our second appearance on ESPN.
Yeah, man. Shout out Mike's Hard Lemonade and Cutlass Janatoya LLC, man, for stepping up to the plate and getting behind the young brother, man. You know, Keyshawn, again, we support you, man. Salute you, man. Keep doing your thing out there.
Absolutely. And Keyshawn was putting in that work. Like, Keyshawn, man, it was
that man. Beat the wheels off that man.
Complete masterclass. I was highly impressed. You know, I watched him say a lot about Keyshawn, and I see him when he fighting, and what they saying is true, but the way he displayed it last weekend, it was like, bruh, he gonna be an animal. I'm excited about it.
And he in the toughest division though, so.
Yep. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty, of course, football, because that's where we at this time. This is the prime dish in our meal. So we're gonna jump right into some Dallas Cowboys shit, because Michael Parsons actually went out and said that MVP candidate Jalen Hurts is not a candidate. Like, he's not an MVP. That he pretty much is only successful because of the pieces around him. Guru, do you agree?
No, I don't agree. Jalen Hurts is playing out of his mind this year.
I agree. He is. Why you think Parsons hating on him like that?
I don't know, man. Did you see the video with Parsons and Diggs is arguing about who gonna get Stephon Gilmore jersey? I lost all the respect in the world and credibility for Michael Parsons after I seen that man arguing over. Man had a man crush on Stephon Gilmore.
He was dead serious too. Like, I mean, like, they was gonna probably get the blows if
exactly.
he was gonna get that jersey.
They sound like you and Deshaun arguing over who gonna ride in the front seat back in the day.
Oh boy, we did do that though. We did. We damn near got the blows with that.
That's how they almost was. I said, God damn, man, where is it?
Look, the worst question in the world is, what's so bad about the backseat?
Exactly. Like, you're not going to get there no sooner than the person in the front seat, and you don't get no special privileges in the front seat.
Oh, man, well, I guess that's the beauty of being young.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Cowboys, Dak Prescott, he is in the conversation. Like, they speaking so much in regards to him, as far as, is he the one that's going to get Dallas over the hump?
If they get over the hump, I don't think it'll be because of Dak. But on the flip side, if they don't, it will be because of Dak.
That's true as hell. Like, oh man, that's crazy.
So the man is in a catch-22. Yeah. Damned if it do, damned if it don't.
He gonna have to throw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns just to even be considered.
And no interceptions.
Yeah, and no interceptions, no sacks, no none. Speaking of which, you was talking about how Michael Parsons was fanning out with Stephon Gilmore. Well, one of my Niners, Dre Greenlaw, he was fanning out too. He actually admitted he was fanning. He was like, I was like a girl.
Exactly. That's a little bit different, but it's still, a man crush. Like, I can probably understand you crushing on Tom Brady, especially if you got an interception. Like, the man ain't picked Stephon Gilmore off.
Right.
He ain't do nothing spectacular to him. You know what I mean? To get an autograph football that you intercepted, that's huge.
Yeah, that's definitely big. That's a huge thing to pass on. Like, right. Put in your trophy case. Like, bro,
and possibly the last time you're going to face Tom Brady.
Yeah, I intercepted the GOAT. And he signed the ball.
And we whooped their ass.
We bust their ass. But he signed it. Would you have signed that ball?
It's Tom Brady, man. Like, yeah, Tom Brady is a fan of the sport, and he's a pioneer in the game. Like, that's good sportsmanship. Tom Brady don't give a damn about that interception or signing that football. Like, man got 7 Super Bowl rings.
Tom Brady said he asked me to sign it, and I was like, shit. I was like, bruh. I mean, I probably would have signed it just because, bruh.
You got to think, that's still a fan. Like, he grew up watching Tom Brady.
Right. And this is my peer that's a fan. So, you know what I'm saying?
They really not peers. I mean,
man,
like 10 years older than Greenlaw.
They're not peers as far as from an age perspective.
Right, but they play the same sport at the same time. So, like I say, he grew up watching. He probably was a baby when Tom Brady first won his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, he said he was 2. Oh, boy. All right. So, right now we winding the season down. It's almost time for playoffs. Based on what you've seen so far, Guru, what team do you think is trending downward to not make the playoffs?
Oh, man, easy, the Giants.
And
Seattle, though. If Seattle don't win that game with San Francisco tonight, which is airing live right now, they trending downward.
Yeah. It's weird because New York is making a collapse right now. Like it's odd.
Yeah, both the Jets and the Giants. To be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the difference now between how y'all started the season as opposed to now?
Injuries and the fact that we really never had a true number one is catching up at the wide receiver position. It's catching up. You know, you putting the whole game on Saquon back, and he's capable, but the play calling is now questionable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of things that you can point to, but, you know, when you're injured on both sides of the ball, the close games that you were winning, you start losing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like we was blowing people out.
Right.
So, you know,
So
got a big game against Washington, man, Sunday night. I think the winner of that will be kind of in the driver's seat towards making the playoffs.
Absolutely. It's weird because at the moment that y'all started to fall, Washington started to climb.
Right.
You know?
And yet we still got the same record.
Yeah. that's it's crazy. But that's that NFC East shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know who my sleeper team, though? I told you at the beginning of the season what team would be a sleeper, and they on the rise, and they rising quickly. The Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions, they definitely rising. You're 100% on that. They actually got a chance to go to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Which came totally out of nowhere.
Yeah. It's weird because it make you wonder what clicked for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, something had to click.
But, you know, as a Giant fan and as a fan of the sports and as a fan of sports betting, I would rather see Detroit make the playoffs. As a fan of football, like, Detroit needs to be in the playoffs.
I agree. If they go to the playoffs, it's the biggest turnaround I've ever seen.
And they are exciting on offense, and they would be scary for any team in the playoffs.
I could not imagine. They score so much. Like, you literally got to keep up. And it's weird because they projecting, what's that boy name? They projecting the Giants to get, I think, the number 4 pick in the draft. And they projecting them to pick a quarterback. But I feel like Jared Goff is playing.
You talking about Detroit?
Yeah.
You said the Giants.
Oh, my bad. Detroit, yeah, the Lions.
Detroit. I mean, Jared Goff is playing great, and he been to the Super Bowl before.
Right. So, but they got them projecting to pick a quarterback.
Probably because he can groom the next quarterback. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think they was predicting them to get the boy out of Florida.
Okay.
Which he would definitely need some grooming when he gets into the league. Like, he's not going to come into the league ready to play. So that wouldn't be a bad move if he could sit for 2-3 years.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Let me ask you this. Tua and Geno are playing far better than they played since they entered the league.
Mm-hmm.
And my question to you is, are they elite?
Nah, neither one.
Neither one. What do they got to do at this point to be elite? Is it more so them being consistent, or is it they got to update their numbers and their impact on the game?
They probably need to be reincarnated into a different body to be elite. Like, Geno has been in the league too long to be considered elite. He had too many bad years to be in the elite conversation.
Right.
Tua still got time. He was playing elite football at the beginning of the year, but I think some of them injuries might be catching up with over Tua.
Yeah, Tua be playing like he nervous.
And I think sometimes, you know, like I say, once the teams get enough film on you and you really been beating people the same way, like, you can't run the football, or you can run the football, but you don't try.
Right.
Right? And then you try to beat everybody with the quick slant over the top. Like, man, you're not going to keep beating NFL defensive coordinators with that shit week in and week out.
It's only so long that shit going to work.
Yeah, sooner or later we're going to roll coverage over the top. We're going to take inside. We're going to play inside leverage. We're going to force you to do something else.
But I would think that the creativity would be there, being that Mike McDaniels came from a creative system. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, but however, that don't automatically transfer over.
Right. You're right.
Look at Josh McDaniel out there in Vegas. He was an offensive genius in New England.
Yeah.
But every time you get a head coaching job, that shit just goes out the window.
It's weird because is it him?
100% got to be him.
Like, do you think that if he were to say, all right, I'm gonna start calling the plays on offense, that it'll make a difference?
Josh McDaniel don't call the plays in Vegas?
I would think that he would, but from the looks of it, it don't look like it's him. Like, it seemed like it's somebody else calling these plays.
Man just not a head coach.
It's out of character.
And the Raiders stuck with him.
Yeah, they did. I mean, I guess he ain't got no choice.
No, I'm saying they're stuck with him. Like, they can't get out their contract, not this year, next year. It's going to cost them too much.
that's the cost of doing business. All right, so Lamar Jackson, he suffered an injury, what was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, week ago.
And he gonna be out for a couple weeks?
Possibly. They say he's questionable to play this week. He could come back this week. I doubt it. I wouldn't rush him back. But
yeah. That was my question. Would you, from a Lamar Jackson perspective, would you go back?
If he healthy, he going back because he wants to make the playoffs, and the Bengals is knocking at their door.
Like, it's crazy because Kyler Murray, he just tore his ACL,
right? And
seeing that happen, Kyler Murray got his bag. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And you got to ask yourself, like, what happens if that were to happen to Lamar? You know what I'm saying? Like, that'll scare me into, like, saying, yeah, I'm good. Pay me first.
Well, like I said, man, Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray kind of might have tricked up the bag for Lamar. And Deshaun Watson, he ain't done nothing since he been back. So everybody who got the money is tricking.
They is getting money for nothing.
Deshaun Watson, he might be the worst. This man skipping passes into the wide receivers. He can't even throw the ball accurate enough to hit a man at the knees. He throwing the ball in the dirt.
It's crazy that the expectations are realistic to me for Deshaun Watson because bro, you agreed to a whole lot of money,
right? And it kind of looked
fully
like
guaranteed.
It kind of looked like they should have stuck with
Jacoby
Brissett and say, look, we'll just bring you back fresh next year.
Yep. He only get $1 million this year anyway. So
yeah, and it was like I guess they thought they could sneak in the back door of a playoff run if they went out. But once you lost the first two, man, go ahead and sit back down. You making us as an organization look bad for putting that much money behind you.
Exactly. All right, so the NFC East is substantial. It's legit. We know that. And the Eagles right now 12-1, best record in the league by far. I think if they win this week, they clinch first round bye or some shit. But my question is, what team do you feel like is going to give them the most problems?
Like I say, that NFC division is just, I don't see where a clear-cut favorite is if you don't say it's Philly.
Right.
I definitely like what San Francisco doing on both sides of the ball, but I don't think Brock Purdy can get them over the hump when need be. We know what Dallas do in the playoffs. They get there and they nut up,
Yeah.
Tom Brady, they might win the South, and if they do win the South, it's Tom Brady, but they don't scare nobody. Like, they're really not a good football team.
Right, yeah, exactly.
The Commanders could get in there and shake some things up. They already proved that they can beat Philly. You know what I mean? So you get in the playoffs, anything can happen any given Sunday or Saturday in that instance. Then you got Minnesota.
Minnesota might be a sleeper.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins, I don't trust him neither. I trust Brock Purdy over Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think that's the key in all of this is the fact that it's not the NBA.
Right.
It ain't the best of nothing. You win or lose. You lose.
Exactly. One game and that's it. All you got to have is one bad game.
Exactly. Yep. 100%.
And I done seen each of those teams have a bad game. So,
damn, that's the biggest thing. I think playing perfect football throughout the year is the most difficult thing to do.
Right.
And I think in order to win, you got to be perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't lose no games, and because you got to be perfect, the question is what team is built to be perfect?
None. But Philly, like I said, Philly on both sides of the ball, they got probably the best team in the NFC.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will definitely see. With that said, let's take our first break. Coming up, we got some more NBA. We got some more NFL. We might throw a little bit of NBA in there. You never know. But we also got the trivia question, rank them, and the Guru pick of the day. BetMoorSports will be back. Go.
It's your boy, Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a. the Guru with BetMoorSports. You know I'm pushing parlays 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But if you have a problem gambling, call 888-532-3500. And always remember to drink responsibly.
Welcome back to the BetMoorSports Podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Stephen Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's episode 37 of the BetMoorSports Podcast. And we are getting busy, baby. It is Niner football tonight. I ain't said too much about them, so I'm going to keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? Guru, let me ask you, right now, up to this point, who's your MVP?
Jalen Hurts, the man. Michael Parsons say shouldn't win the MVP.
Who you got second?
Pat Mahomes still, but he threw them 4 interceptions the other day.
Yeah, that was uncharacteristic.
Yeah, it was. It kind of knocked you down a notch.
All right, so I agree. Actually, I got Jalen Hurts, and then following up with Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, that's. I feel like Jalen Hurts gonna get it if they go. If they don't lose no more games, which they schedule seems to be favorable.
Yeah.
If they win out, you don't got a choice but to give it to him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he the reason that his team is so good. Don't get me wrong, he got pieces, but you can't take a regular quarterback and get what he's getting out of it.
And you can't deny the numbers. Like, the man numbers add up.
Yep, exactly.
Rushing, passing, throwing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns.
The decision making,
right? He's not turning the ball over much.
He take off when he need to take off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't forcing it. He ain't putting himself in a position where he's taking a bunch of punishment. He's taking off when he need to take off. If ain't nobody open, he out of there. He's decisive. He's deciding that on the go. Up, they ain't open. Let me go ahead and go. I done got this far. I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna get down before somebody can get near me, which I'm gonna be like 40 yards in. But you know what I'm saying? I think that's a substantial difference maker when it all boils down. You got players like Trey Lance, who just take hits. You know, Lamar Jackson, he just take hits. Kyler Murray just take hits. Like, these guys just take hits. And one thing I can say about Jalen Hurts, he make it a point, and he probably bigger than all of them, but he make it a point not to take no hit.
Right.
Let's see. Who would you rather have? I know that you got Hurts as your MVP, but if you coaching the team, who would you rather have, Mahomes or Hurts, and why?
Mahomes.
Why is that?
He got something that you can't coach or teach. He just got a certain gift that you don't see.
Yeah.
Too often. You might not have never seen it. You might not never see it again for a long period of time.
Yeah, because he coming in the game with the no looks. Like,
he's amazing to watch.
He's the Harlem Globetrotter football. All right, so my guys, last week we put a whooping on the Bucks, and Tom Brady looked like I don't think I ever seen Tom Brady look the way he looked. He looked like he was petrified, not afraid, but petrified in the sense of, I don't know what else to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was awkward to watch because I'm rooting against Tom Brady, and in the same instance, the way Tom Brady is looking, like it almost made me feel like, okay, that's it for him. You know what I'm saying? It's over. You think this should be Tom Brady last year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's weird that you don't want to go out on the bottom. So
You've done so much, man. You've accomplished everything, and you just, Father Time is undefeated.
Yeah, there's no way anybody can defeat him.
Not defeating Father Time, man. I know you can play at a high level. Father Time is so crazy that you can play at a high level a month ago and look like you took a downturn
that?
30 days later.
That's crazy because it's like you're not doing nothing different. You know what I'm saying? You just woke up one day different.
You're getting older. That's different.
So
who's playing quarterback at an elite level at 45, 46 years old? Like, who's done it?
Yeah, that's not normal for sure. Let me ask you this: what's the difference between them now as opposed to last year? This year they're scoring 13 points less than they scored last year. So what you think is different in their offense that's preventing them from being as successful?
Tom Brady's older, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Gronkowski.
Okay.
2, your head coach is a defensive-minded head coach. 3, with no success running a successful offense. You know, even though you still got Byron Leftwich,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your head guy is different. You know, your head guy was an offensive guy. And he's no longer on the sideline, so
Right.
it's a lot. And they can't run the football.
I think that's the key.
And the offensive line is not good.
That's the other thing.
Like, it's a million things you can point to why they're not as good. Their defense is not as good. You know what I mean? Their defense is not getting the ball back as quickly as they was last year. The defense ain't stopping the run as effectively as they was last year. So the team as a whole is not as good.
And they lost a starting center, I think, beginning of the season to a torn ACL or something. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? The expectations was significant, and I think it's even weirder that they lead in their division still. After the season they had.
Man, the division is in shambles.
Their division starting to look like reminiscences of the NFC East.
Yeah, it's looking like the remnants of their division too.
Well, yeah.
It had some bad bad years in the South.
Oh, yeah.
Carolina still got a chance to make the playoffs and win the division.
Speaking of Carolina, they cut Baker Mayfield at his request. The Rams picked Baker Mayfield up, probably at his request. They claimed him off for waivers. And Baker Mayfield came 2 days later and led them to a win.
98-yard drive, touchdown drive.
Right. You think that this says anything about Baker, or do you think that it says something about Matthew Stafford?
Matthew Stafford got a Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah.
Out of L.A., so Baker just trying to hang on, man. You know he at the last of the last. If he can't catch on nowhere, he got to show some film where he can get a job next year.
Right, yeah. It got to be something. And I mean, they picked him up, so I assume his contract's still in play? Or do he not got a contract?
Well, he probably got a 1 year, little short-term deal.
Okay. Yeah, listen. All I know, I was watching that shit. I was like, yo, I know this dude ain't about to win the game. They was losing the whole game.
Walk the people down the field, man, 98 yards.
With a bunch of people he ain't never played with.
They were playing the Raiders, man.
Well, yeah. The Raiders are known for their whole season look like that. That is crazy. In that San Francisco game, we lost Debo. Debo got a MCL sprain and an ankle sprain, and I don't think it's a high ankle sprain. I think it's just a regular sprain, but he's gonna be out for a couple of weeks. You think that's gonna impact the 49ers chemistry?
I think Debo is a big part of what San Francisco likes to do, but I think they'll be just fine with the addition of Christian McCaffrey and the way Brandon Ayuk is playing. However, I do want to say this.
Mm-hmm.
The way Debo was crying, I thought the man tore something. Man, how in the hell you crying and you ain't did nothing but sprain your ankle and a sprained ligament in your knee? Like, that shit don't hurt that bad, Debo. That man was in full tears. And I got a lot of respect for Debo as being a tough guy in the NFL, boy. But that changed the way I look at you. And I'm sure it's going to change the way the defenders look at you, boy, because all that tough shit you be doing, boys ain't going for that no more, man. You was in full tears for a sprained ankle.
Well, I think he thought it was worse.
No, you know pain. There's levels of pain, Avery. I done hurt plenty of ligaments and things of that nature, and I know the difference in a sprained ankle and a broken ankle.
Right, but he probably had that same pain, or he probably ain't never experienced the ACL pain, but in the same instance, he had a pain that he may have not felt before and was like, yo, something is done.
You're going to take up for them Niners, bro, but still.
I was just
Man
saying,
cried for a sprained ankle and a sprained ligament in the knee. Some shit that's going to keep him out 2 weeks.
Didn't Kyler Murray cry too? He ain't know.
Kyler Murray knew. He knew.
Well,
he was done for the season.
The clues, the context clues came in. It was a injury that occurred, non-contact. You know, that's going to tell you everything from the gate. People knew what it was early. So, you know, I don't know. Let me ask you this. Is Nick Bosa Defensive Player of the Year?
He should be.
You know, at first it was Micah Parsons, and Dallas fans will say it's Micah Parsons. And Micah Parsons is a beast. He's killing it. But I think the last couple of weeks, Nick Bosa's been crazy. Nick Bosa, he leading the league in sacks.
Yeah, he's a dominant force. And he missed a game or two.
Right, exactly. So, you know, I think to me, that's a difference maker. What about the Bengals? You know, the Chiefs can't really beat the Bengals, or they've been struggling to beat the Bengals. I can't say that they can't beat the Bengals because, again, any given Sunday,
they haven't beaten. They're on 3, you know,
right,
against the Bengals with Pat Mahomes at the quarterback.
You think the Bengals is the team to beat now in the AFC? No?
It's too many matchups where I don't think the Bengals are the favorable team in those matchups. You know what I mean? Outside of Kansas City. Like, I don't think the Bengals can beat Buffalo in a playoff game, especially if that game is in Buffalo.
Okay.
You know, I really don't think they can beat Baltimore if Baltimore is healthy. You know, in Cincinnati or Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know. You know, you got to see. It's teams that match up well against Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think a big part of the problem with the Chiefs is that they don't match up that well.
Right.
You know.
They kind of mirror each other, and it's really whoever scores last or has the ball last.
It's weird because it seemed like Joe Burrow outplayed Patrick Mahomes in those games too. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to watch as far as seeing them go back for. I guess it's not really hard to watch. It's fun to watch, but it's difficult because you have an expectation of Patrick Mahomes, and then Patrick Mahomes he don't show up the way he's expected to.
Right.
You know, so I often wonder why that is. Why is it that this particular team is the team that he don't show up as much against?
Well, he might get another shot at him, and his ass better show up the next time.
He damn sure he damn sure better show up. In sports world, college football, man, we lost Mississippi State coach Mike Leach. He was a beloved coach. But what was odd, and I know, you know, you got to have a next man up mentality, but he was their current coach.
Right.
And maybe a week after he died, they signed somebody else.
They got to. They got a bowl game to play. They got a lot to go on. Like,
my thing is, why are we playing this bowl game? Our coach just died.
Now that is still up in there. They might not play.
You know, I just think it's a clear example of live your life, because guess what? If you overwork yourself, the moment something happened to you, your job is going to move right on instantly.
It's a clear example of fuck that job. That's the best example of fuck that job you're going to ever get.
Straight up.
Your man passed away and the people sign you your replacement right away before they even planned your funeral.
Instantly. It's terrible, man.
And he was a beloved coach. Like, I've been rocking with Mike Leach since Washington State. You know, I like him. I like his scheme. I like a lot of things about him, man. And, you know, wish him the best on whatever plane of existence he may find himself.
Yeah, man. It's tough, man. You know, and I get it. I know they might want to play for their coach and, you know, make it work, but I feel like you probably should have just waited to the end of the season to sign him.
Yeah, just get an intern coach. Let somebody that's already on the squad be the intern coach. But, hey, at the end of the day, man, it's business.
It's definitely
That's the
business.
sad part about this life, man, is that this shit going to go on once you go away from here.
Yep. It don't matter. It don't matter.
Shit going to go on.
Man. All right. I told you I was going to touch on a little bit of NBA. The NBA has actually turned the MVP trophy to, they named it after Michael Jordan. About time. Like, damn. It took forever. Like, Jordan is the GOAT, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And naturally. But what's taking them so long to pay him that homage now, to give him those flowers now? Like, I'm not saying that Jordan not getting flowers, because Jordan gonna get flowers. But I don't feel like the NBA is paying him that homage.
I mean, no comment. We kind of know why, man. But, much respect due to Air Jordan.
Let me ask you, have you seen the they was talking about using Kobe as the logo? Have you seen that logo?
Nah, they were talking about making Jordan the logo at one time, but I guess they won't do it now that they done made him the MVP trophy.
Yeah, and I don't think it's beneficial to make Jordan the logo, because he's already a logo. You know what I'm saying? He's the logo when it comes down to things like shoes.
Jordan brand, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but I feel like that logo they got of Kobe is a perfect logo. Like, it's Kobe shooting form. Everything about it says that should be the logo.
Right. Do you think Jordan is the biggest logo brand out there?
I do right now, absolutely.
Do you think it will ever be another logo to compete or compare?
I don't, and I'm gonna tell you, Jordan is one of those. I've seen the same damn shoes get released 60 times. You know what I'm saying? With the same logo, the same everything, and everybody flocked to it the same exact way.
Same color scheme and everything.
Literally. And it get to a point where people don't want, like, people, they got different colors, right? But people flock more to the originals.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The originals cost more and everything. So I don't know. I can't see nobody exceeding Jordan. Jordan went from being a part of Nike to developing his own brand and stepping out, and now he's just Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Even though the vintage shoes that is released is a combination of Jordan and Nike, it's still just one of those things where I can't see nobody else doing that in the way in which he did it.
Right, for the long period of time that he's done it.
You know, everybody else pretty much depend on another brand before they become a brand.
Right.
You know, and, man, I like his shoes, though. I rock the shit out of them. All right, let's talk Rank 'em, man. Rank 'em. We got, in case you don't know, Rank 'em is when we pretty much take some players or a subject, multiple subjects, and then we rank them from first to worst. And today's Rank 'em, we are going to talk wholeheartedly on basketball. It's going to be NBA based. This week's Rank 'em is going to come from, well, it's going to include Giannis Antetokounmpo, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Ja Morant, and Stephen Curry. So, Guru, the ball is in your court. Rank them from first to worst. Again, Giannis, LeBron, KD, Ja Morant, and Steph.
Well, tough. KD, my favorite player. So, in the league right now, Melo's my favorite player, but KD my favorite player. But I'm going to go Giannis, Steph, KD, LeBron, and Ja.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to put LeBron last, but I wanted to put Ja higher, but that's a tough list. Ja got to wait his turn a little bit longer.
Right. I can dig it. But I would actually put Ja high. I got Giannis, and then I got Ja.
Makes sense, currently.
I feel like Ja's an unstoppable force.
Right. And now we're going, definitely currently he's ahead of all of them, but I'm going to let Ja wait his turn a little bit longer.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. And after Ja, I would go KD and Steph and then LeBron. And it ain't nothing against LeBron at all. It's just more so he had his turn.
He got the Tom Brady effect.
Exactly.
He ain't playing bad as Tom, though.
He's not really playing bad, but he's not playing LeBron-esque. LeBron throughout his career has been a make my teammates better player, and I don't see that coming from him. You know what I'm saying? I see him looking to show that he can still play, so he scored a bunch
Chasing
of points.
Kareem.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. It's selfish.
Right.
We don't need you to chase Kareem. You're going to catch that. Just play basketball. Make your teammates better. Be a better version of yourself. And he ain't doing it to me.
Did you catch Bronny James against Cayenne the other day?
Yeah. It's weird that game was on TV and everything. Like, they was going in and
it was packed.
they said it was like going to a All-Star weekend type environment.
Right. It's just the gym just was small.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
They probably should have played that at a arena somewhere.
Right. Yeah. Because it don't make sense to play in a regular high school gym.
Right.
I just at some point you get to a point where.
And it was a little high school gym, but I wonder what the security like at that high school because they got Penny Hardaway's son, Scottie Pippen's son, and two of LeBron's sons on the same team.
They said that the security is off the chain.
Got to be.
Like I was watching First Take and Stephen A. Smith was talking to Keyshawn, and Keyshawn was just like he was at the game. He was like, "Oh yeah, it was star-studded, and security. It was probably more security than people in the crowd."
Right.
I mean, that makes sense. Ain't nobody trying to go to that game without security.
They probably got security at the school like that.
Straight up. All right, let's take another break. And coming up, we got our trivia question, and then we got the Guru Pick of the Day. So, BetMoorSports again. We'll be back. Welcome back to the BetMoorSports Podcast. I'm your host, Avery Fuller, with my co-host, Steven Trotman Bay, a.k.a.
The Guru.
And we back at it again. Week 15, episode 37 of the BetMoorSports Podcast. We're coming at you live in the rep once again. Bam, bam, bam. While y'all here, I want y'all to do me a favor in the comments. Can you leave? Tell me what team you think got the best uniforms in the NFL. Because I'm looking at the Seahawks uniform. Them joints is legit. I like them. So, who you like? Who you think got the best? With that said, let's hit up our trivia question. Now, keep in mind with the trivia question, this time around, we ain't going to get no multiple choice. So, first two people leave a comment, get a swag bag. And the question goes as follows. What player has the most defensive touchdowns in NFL history? I'm going to say that again. What player has the most defensive touchdowns in NFL history? Make sure you leave it in the comments on the YouTube channel where the podcast is stored. And now it's time for the Guru's Pick of the Day.
The Guru's Pick of the Day is the Texas San Antonio Troy game over in the Cure Bowl played in Orlando, Florida. Last year, the Cure Bowl was between Northern Illinois and Coastal Carolina, and I think the final score was 47-41. So you can get a lot of points scored out there in Orlando, Florida. Texas San Antonio scored over 31 points in 10 straight games, or in 10 games this season, and they're not playing no defense. This is the only bowl game in which you will get two conference champions. So you got two teams coming in, both at 11-2. Should be a pretty good one. Should be plenty of points scored because, like I said, Texas San Antonio has a high-powered offense, and they're not going to play any defense. They're not even going to try, which is good for Troy because Troy doesn't play a whole lot of offense, and they play pretty good defense. However, this game is a few ticks lower than we got most of Texas San Antonio overs and unders, and this one is at 55 and a half. So take everything you can big bar still and bet it on the Texas San Antonio and Troy game over 55 and a half.
And there you have it, the Guru's pick of the day. As always, the Guru is putting money in your pocket. You might want to use it. If you don't, you will lose it. Or you can just send it to the BetMoorSports office. That's all I'm saying. With that said, look, that's our show for today, man. Look, I'm about to get down here and watch my boys put in that work.
Pretty dope sweatshirt you got on there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're for sale. So just hit us up in the comments. Let us know if you want one. We got you. Hit up BetMoorSports.com. They'll be up there.
Yeah, hit us up, man. Let us know your team color. We'll give them to you in your team color.
Exactly. That's the best part. See my team color.
Yeah, it go perfectly with the San Francisco hat.
Oh, yeah. I love it. And I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of BetMoorSports. Till at the end of the day, holler at us. Hit us up, BetMoorSports.com. Leave comments on YouTube, TikTok, all the social media platforms as usual. And shout out to the winners from last week. We'll holler at you and get you your swag bags. With that said, we out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Good night. Peace.
Till next time. Man, try to steal my line.
Again.